Hi everybody, it's Darren here from Crazy Big J Adventure, here sooner rather than later. Um, what day is it? It's Sunday 29th, and I want to do another video for you guys, and I don't know how long it's going to be, hopefully not too long for you, because I don't want to go on and on without having like any other footage or anything to show you guys. But something happened tonight, and I thought it's important to let you guys know what had happened and what happened as a result of it so that you guys can kind of understand this, and one of the reasons as well why I love living here. So this video is about integrating with the community if you do decide to live here, or if you've just moved here as well. Hopefully that's going to help as well. So I'm sitting here relaxing, and I've got myself a little shot of fruit infused rakia. And some people on a previous video that I did asked if I still vaped, if I use an electronic cigarette. Yes, I do. So I might be using that from time to time. But I kind of want to let you guys know why it's important that when you move, that it's really a good idea to try and integrate with the village or the town or the city you're living in as soon as possible, and why it's so absolutely worthwhile. So to give you an idea of why I'm saying this is that tonight, for instance, I was cooking in the kitchen, and I kept hearing fireworks, and it's Christmas to New Year. It's not uncommon, fireworks can be heard throughout the year. They tend to like them at, big celebrations, or if a baby's been born, something like that, they'll light fireworks. But when I was in the kitchen downstairs, the firework was being lit and set off right in front of the kitchen window, which I thought was odd. And it kind of made me jump as well. So I didn't think much more of it until the other half had said, that there's been a few of these fireworks going off. And what we found that what was happening is that someone was actually lighting them and throwing them into the garden, which is a big no-no, obviously, for various reasons as well. Fire hazard, the dogs, this, that, and the other. The thing was, though, is that I was so shocked and surprised because it's not heard of for something like that to happen. I mean, I hate to say it, but the UK, yes. But here, absolutely not. Get very little, very, very little problem here. So for it to all of a sudden start was a bit alarming. So we found out it was some children who were local to here. So we chased them, and they went running off. And then I had eaten, and I thought, right, I better go and let the neighbours know in case they come back, because our neighbours are Bulgarian, and they're I'm not going to say elderly, but they're getting on in life, and I just wanted to let them know in case it happens to them, because, if you're not used to something like that happening, it can be scary. So I went in and I kind of explained the best I could with my Bulgarian what had happened, and they said immediately, right, come in, sit down. So I went in and sat down, and they offered me something to eat, which they always do, bless them. Bless them, they always do. And they got straight on the phone to a neighbour who lives behind us here. Two neighbours that we know well as well, lovely, lovely people. And they were on the phone to them for some time. And then about, maybe 10 minutes later, they came off the phone. And in that time, they had searched and found who it was that was doing it. And they were gathered and disciplined of their grandmothers, parents, etc. And it turned out that they're not local. So obviously the grandmothers live in the village, but they live in like Sofia or somewhere like that. So they're obviously over for Christmas. So they got found quick and got disciplined for it, and order's been restored. And what I want to say to you guys is this is why it's important as well that when you're moving somewhere, like I understand some people who will say, I'm coming over and I want to live in the middle of nowhere, and that's fine. The chances are that you're not going to really be bothered, by that. You might be. You might have somebody who does live, in the nearest town might want to come up and introduce themselves, because believe you me, guys, it doesn't matter where you live. That the nearest town or village will find out, and they know, like, it's literally amazing how much they know. They know, like, the day that you will be moving in, even though you haven't told anybody, they'll know. I can't tell you how they know, but they just do. They know where you're from, they know how many people's going to move in, they know everything, like, literally they do. But getting back onto the subject, this is why it's good to keep in with your community, at least with your neighbours, because if your neighbours, which I haven't heard anybody yet who said that their neighbour is unaccommodating. I'm imagining some people might, but the majority of people have really good neighbours, and they are lovely people. Our neighbours have been amazing to us in 3 years. They've given us food. They've talked to us. They've invited us round for coffee. They've just been amazing. They've helped us with lots of things, and they've just been truly amazing people. Just so humble, and they don't want anything in return. They're just amazing people. But at the same time, this is why it's important to be with your community, because, occasionally if I cook, I'll give them some of what I've cooked, like soup or a stew or, casserole or something like that, even though they always give me something back in return, even though it's not expected. And just, things like that. But the other good thing is as well is because if you leave the house, you have eyes on your house. So yes, you can get a burglar alarm and this, that, and the other. And I'm not saying that crime's right, because it's not. It's really, really not. And if it is, it's more petty theft than burglary. It's not very much heard of, that a house being burgled, because not a lot of people have got a lot of things, so houses just don't get burgled. But nevertheless, it's more eyes on your house. So if you leave and you've got really good relationship with your neighbour, if you tell them, they'll keep an eye on the police for you. They'll make sure that, nobody's there who's not supposed to be there. Like, we've got a dog sitter who, we're going away soon, and we've got somebody who'll be staying and looking after the dogs. And I have to literally tell the neighbours this, because if I don't, they will question her, and they'll also ring me, and they'll be saying, somebody's at your house and we don't know who it is, and you're not there, so we're concerned. And I think that's amazing. I think that's really, really good, for them to do that. Because it just shows that it's community, it's community spirit, it's what it's all about. And whilst we don't live in each other's pockets all the time, so I might only see them once a month or something, but it's good to know that if I have any issue or anything like that, like I did tonight, I can go and see them, tell them what's happened, and they'll do everything they can to help. Or they'll tell me what I need to do. So, yeah, it's a good... The other good reason as well is because somebody... Let me just get a drink of this. Somebody said about how was I getting on with the Bulgarian language. And yeah, I'm getting on fine. I'm not fluent, and I wouldn't say my Bulgarian is the best Bulgarian in the world. My grammar's terrible. But if I can get by and with what I want, and I can kind of hold a conversation, which I can, then I'm happy with that. That suits me down to the ground. Fly. And that's another good reason as well, is why to get involved with your local community, because it can really help you with your Bulgarian. Because when you learn Bulgarian as well, everybody wants to learn the true Bulgarian, the official Bulgarian language. The problem that you have, the ways, um, just like in the UK, Bulgaria has dialect. So, for instance, let's take the word snow. So the word snow, as we know it, in Bulgarian translates as sniag. But here, where I live, it translates again as snake, as in like a slithering snake. So people here will call it snake. And the official term is sniag. So, dialect has a lot to do with that as well. And at first I wanted to learn the proper Bulgarian because I wanted to be able to communicate in other parts of Bulgaria. And then I just thought, just don't get too much wrapped up into, correct Bulgarian and this, that, and the other. Just concentrate on communicating first and then look at words and things later, because Bulgarian's not an easy language to learn. You probably would have gathered this by now. The written is hard and the spoken is hard as well, because you can't relate, words in other languages, like say for instance French. So I'm just going to say in French, like c'est magnifique is magnificent, whereas that's different again in Bulgarian. I don't actually know what the Bulgarian translation is to that directly, but it's not that. So I would just say like super, which, they'll say the same. Or I'll say mnogo dobre, which is very good. So I just kind of wanted to kind of put this video out there to you guys, just to let you know what had happened tonight and why it's important to kind of get involved with the community for many different things. And you don't have to actively be involved. Just be known that you're there and you're there for your neighbours. And it helps them out. You'll hear horror stories as well of people who have been like, oh, my neighbours are so dependent on me and things like that, and I don't really like it. Well, that's up to you at the end of the day on how far you choose to take it. Our neighbours aren't that reliant on us. They've got everything that they need. If they do need me, they know, like one of the neighbours has said to me, this year and maybe the same last year, that she needed me to take her somewhere, and I took her and she gave me money for fuel, and that was all, and it's not all the time either. It's very rare that she asks me, but if she needs me to do it, then she really needs it for a reason, because she hasn't got anybody else to do it for her. So I don't have an issue with that at all. But at the same time, if I needed it, I know that they will probably do the same for me. So yeah, the best thing is with the community is just to get your hands dirty and just start integrating with them. If you want to learn some Bulgarian, learn basic things like, hello, my name is, nice to meet you, I speak little Bulgarian, things like that. That's just enough to get you by, so that you can say, hi, this is me, it's nice to meet you, I don't speak a lot of Bulgarian, but I want to learn, and just little bits like that, and when you try, they love it. They really love it. They love to see other people trying to learn the language as well, because what they'll do is they try and help you as much as they can. So, and you'll find that they're very patient as well. They're lovely. They're just amazing people. They are so patient and so laid back and everything else. And, tonight I was just so blessed, because if that had been the UK and somebody had done that, I couldn't have relied on anybody. We hadn't spoken to our neighbours in the UK in 14 years. So the next people would have been the police, which wouldn't have been an urgent thing. And I could rely on my neighbours to do that, and that got rectified and sorted like within minutes. And I'm eternally grateful to them for that. I thought, is this going to be the start of something bad? And no, it just goes to show, what an amazing place that this is. So that's literally everything from me. It was just a short video just to go through that little bit with you guys. I hope that helps. I'm going to be doing a video about, dare I say, but about Brexit and the upcomings of Brexit and my thoughts on like the next year and things like that. And I believe you, mate, it's not going to be political though, because as far as I'm concerned with Brexit, it's got nothing to do with me because I don't live in the UK. So that's like literally it. So there's probably going to be a video on that in January, plus some other things that are coming up. But I've got a long rest coming up for a weekend, which I'm really looking forward to, so that I can come back refreshed and revigorated and ready for the year ahead. So that is everything from me. So I'm definitely not going to be doing another video now until New Year. So I hope you all have had a wonderful Christmas. And I wish you the very best for 2020, for the year ahead. May it be success, whether you want to move here, wherever you want to move, whatever you want to do. I'm eternally grateful to all those who are subscribing to the channel, who are watching, who are commenting, and I'm trying to reply to you guys as much as possible. And I also want to give a shout out to, oh my goodness, let me just find out who it was again. Sorry guys, just give me a second. I want to give a shout out to Robert's Bulgaria. This is a guy who you should always also check out his channel. I'll put a link in the description. He's been here longer than me and he knows more than me. But he often, like, you know, passes by and comments and helps me out on my videos and things like that. And I just want to give him a big thanks as well for that. So be sure to check out his channel as well. As I say, I'll put a link in the description where you're sure to be able to get a lot of information on that as well. So that is definitely everything from me. And I will see you next time, guys. Okay. Happy New Year. Bye-bye.